Okay, so now we're going to talk about my employment since the divorce of September 2021. When about August 2021, I was working with QK4 Inc., which is a civil and architectural engineering firm, civil engineering and architectural firm based out of Louisville, Kentucky. There were 3 other people in the office with me. David Christopher Fox, which is my ex-husband number 2. Andy Ballerstad, which I was told he was the CFO. And Jeff Dyer, who was like the traffic guy. David and I were civil engineers, transportation engineers. David had more experience in transportation than I did. I had like a year at the Georgia Department of Transportation before I worked for QK4. And I can't think of it. I think there was a little something else with transportation somewhere along the line, but I can't think of what it was. So around August, I put in my 2 weeks, and I went to Virginia to stay with Chuck Seabolt with Madison. There was some sort of family reunion, and I didn't want to be around David anymore. It was my intent on saying goodbye to the Seabolts. I slept in the same room as Madison. And we had Prince Charming at the time. So QK4, I started, I think I had a job lined up with Environmental Risk Innovations, ERI, before I resigned from QK4. I started, in I think middle of September with ERI, Karen Nelson. Only, I started noticing my reports were getting altered. I would upload one version and another version would show up. I started printing them out again just to make sure the right version was getting uploaded. My keyboard was getting messed up. Like I would press a key and it would show a different number on the screen. Weird things. Like that was when I was at the Echo and things were getting stolen or like swapped with a lesser brand or lesser quality item, or just flat out stolen or replaced with like a male version of the female version that I had bought. My food was getting poisoned or drugged or something. I had called the police a million times asking about my things, told them someone was in my apartment without my permission. They kept telling me no one was in my apartment, but I'd leave and I'd unplug the Wi-Fi cable from the wall and it would be plugged in again when I got home. Or I would unplug it from the wall, and you had to go all the way through my bedroom, through the bathroom, around the corner of the closet, and unplug the electrical plug to the Wi-Fi. I would do that, both of them, wall and electrical plug, plugged in when I got back. The screen would be shifted slightly, the keyboard would be moved slightly when I got back, so someone was on my computer while I was gone. Anyway, so I ended up having to resign from ERI. I shipped the computer that I had back to, they sent me the EI group address to send it back to. They were going to fly it back, and I said, you're going to want to ground that because it would come on by itself and go off by itself, and I said, it's just not a good idea to fly that thing. I sat there and watched them box it up. I called Karen. I told her I was going to watch and box it up, make sure it got boxed up safely, and it was out of my hands at that point. So I don't know what happened after that. That was FedEx office in, I guess, Roswell. So then I didn't think it would take that long for me to find a job. Only I got locked out of my bank account. My credit tanked because Schottenkirk didn't pay off the loan to the trade-in that I gave them. I didn't even know it tanked. So I got a job at McDonald's, worked there for a month or 2. I don't even know how long. My freaking people would steal money from I had the little debit account card because I couldn't open an account because my credit was so bad. So I had the little employee debit thing. Elizabeth, one of the managers, put that stuff you clean the coffee pot with in my coffee. I drank half of it, turned to go give the food to the people at the drive-through window, come back and it's full. And I'm like, well, she surely wouldn't give me more coffee. twice. I dumped it out, got a new cup, did it again. I reported to HR, to the person who supposedly owned the store, the franchise, that they were harassing me, and did nothing about it. We had a little conversation, and Tony Easter claimed I threatened to shoot a police officer, and I'm going, I didn't threaten to shoot a police officer. I don't have a gun anyway, and I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever. Are you a police officer or something? I don't know. I totally didn't understand that question, but anyway, everyone's harassing me. Same thing. Micromanaging. Expect when I'm in the middle of something and they say they need me to go do something else that's not an emergency. They expect me to drop what I'm doing and go do it. And I'm going, I don't live in military land. I don't live in whatever land you live in, lady. I'm going to finish what I'm doing. I'm making a coffee for the lady in the drive-thru. And Grace says, I need you to come to the the front cashier thing. And I said, sure, just a minute. I'm going to finish making this lady her coffee. And then I'll be there in a minute. I didn't say it like that. I said it kindly and nicely. And she acts like I'm disobedient or insubordinate. I'm going, you're freaking crazy. So I make the lady her coffee, and she's bitching and complaining. They all walk out, and I'm looking around at all these people going, well, we're waiting on fries, people. And I look around, and all the employees went outside, I guess, to smoke or something. I don't know. Whatever. So I was asked to leave McDonald's because someone was moving my food around, eating my food, putting stuff in my food. I asked them if I could keep food there because they had a microwave we could use, so I was going to make a baked potato before work. And then I couldn't use the microwave anymore. So then I get a job at Bocado Burger, where Brian Lewis supposedly owns the restaurant. Charles, I can't remember his last name, is the manager, who is another micromanager, who, honest to God, sat there and said, this is how we wipe a table off. And he wipes it off in front of me. And I'm looking at him going, Charles, I have 15 years experience in a full-service restaurant. This is a shitty-ass burger restaurant. Do you, honest to God, think I can't wipe a table off? So I say, all you have to do is say, Tara, could you wipe this table off? And I'll wipe it off. Ridiculous. Meanwhile, my boobs are shrinking from the boob shrinking, breast reduction, whatever. So he brings in these prostitutes with these altered t-shirts with cleavage coming out. And I'm going, wow, that's not obvious. It's ridiculous. They call me honey, sugar. And I'm like, I don't freaking know you. Don't call me honey. I'm not honey. I'm not sugar. I'm not even that nice. No. So I leave there. They never pay me. I go to pick up my paycheck when he said it was there, and he said, well, I mailed it to you. And I said, no, you didn't mail it to me because I told you specifically to your face I was going to pick it up here. Don't mail it to me. So he wrote me a handwritten check for $246 and some change, I think, and he said, this is the only check you're going to get. So I'm missing all kinds of money. They took all of my credit card tips. I made $40 there, plus the $40 cash that I kept, and $240 whatever dollars. But I trained for 4 or 5 days. He kept putting me on the you gotta wipe the table shift. I'm going, well, you think you can let me learn the food a little bit and see what it's like? Only I knew the food better than Liz. And then Liz, who worked with me at Chili's Toco Hills, apparently has blue eyes, but she had brown contacts at Toco Hills, which was weird. So she has blue eyes, but then they said to start calling her Elizabeth, or no, Catherine. And I'm looking at Liz. So Charles said, this is Catherine. Catherine's going to show you how to cut limes. I'm like, oh, great. I don't know how to cut limes. So she shows me how to cut limes, and I say, hey, Charles, Liz said that's enough limes. Is that enough? He said, yeah, come on, Liz. And I'm like, dude, you're freaking retarded. She's got tattoos. She's the same freaking person, Charles. So, anyway, I have to leave there because I'm about to kill all of them. They're rude. One of the servers there, I don't know, acts like I can't talk to her tables or something. That I would seat a table and it would be her turn, except the table is like, I'm hungry, can I order now? I'm not going to tell him no. I said, sure, I'll take your order. So I sit down and take the order. She comes and interrupts us interrupts us and says, I don't know what she said. Something, this is my table. I'm like, okay, just a minute, ma'am. So I say, look, they're hungry. I took their order. Well, that's my table. Okay, you go wait on the table. I'll go do something else. So I come back and she still hasn't greeted the table or waited on them. And in front of this lady and her 2 children, well, I don't want them anymore. I'm like, why did you say something in the first place? So then again, I'm sitting there talking to a table, and she's screaming across the restaurant my name, trying to ignore her, trying to pretend like she doesn't exist in the world right now. And I just say, excuse me a minute. Almost grabbed the little girl by the ear and pulled her out of the way. I said, listen up here, girl. Do not ever talk to me again when I'm at a table. You don't yell my name across the restaurant. You don't make a scene. If you have something to say to me when I'm at a table, you stand there and wait patiently and you say, excuse me, Tara, when I'm done, fill in the blank. Whatever you needed. Well, she didn't appreciate that. Whatever. So how to leave Bocado Burger. Didn't get paid at all there. Didn't get my last paycheck from McDonald's, I'm quite certain. And they cut my hours. They just steal hours from me. Burger King. Then I started working at Burger King. So Emmy is the main manager, and then you have the lady in the back, which is the chef manager, I guess. Well, Wendy Fox, the maiden name Fox, worked there. She would walk by with a utility knife and cut my hands. Cut my hands. I'm trying to put the knife away in the drawer so no one will see it or use it or whatever. Harass, stuff in the drink, stuff in the food, arsenic. Arsenic in the fish. Sweet, nasty taste in the fish sandwich. I left there. I was asked to leave there because some man came in the restaurant and asked the chef manager and another lady that said she was a manager to call 911, and they said, no, we're not calling 911. And I said, are you kidding me? You can't have someone come into your restaurant and not call 911 for them. So I walk to the back and I get the phone and I call 911, and I tell him whatever. I forgot what his name was. He said he didn't want to say what's wrong, but he asked to call 911. We're at the Burger King, blah, 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 Main Street, Alpharetta, Milton, whatever. So I wait. I guess he was mugged or something. I don't know what was wrong, but they said to get him to sit down and get comfortable, wait for the ambulance. So 2 ambulances showed up and some police officers. I told him I was pressing charges for him. He said he had to complain. I said no, he doesn't have to complain. That's depraved indifference. What if something happened to him? What if he died? That's like, it could also be the suicide law. What if he's suicidal? They don't know he's not suicidal. They can't stand around and not do nothing. They have to help him. So they didn't get arrested. Just don't care. So I think I got my one and only paycheck. Maybe I got 2 paychecks. Anyway, I got my last paycheck from Burger King. I don't think they owe me any money at Burger King. So then I got a job at Goodwill, retail, charity. Only, his name is John Michael, who was hired as John. I knew him as John, and then I guess they fired John and hired Michael, the middle name. Rapist, thieving, jerk. Gina Kirkland was there saying her name was, I don't know what, Jillian, Jill, whatever. The manager, the lady manager, overweight, didn't like walking around the store. And then there's a black dude who's obviously a rapist. I would walk in and he'd have his pants down. Like, he would open the door with his pants down. I'm going, well, dude, I don't know you that well. Could you please pull your pants out? The people in the back organizing the Goodwill stuff are ridiculous. They would take the little tickets for the furniture they wanted, put them on the floor, and just pick them up. I don't even know if they paid for them. Customers would come in all the time and say, well, I don't see anyone with this ticket. And I'm like, it's them back there. You want me to tell the manager? They're like, that's all right. So the last day there, I was trying to remember last time, I would buy things and they would get stolen, Gina would ring me up, and then she'd be like, well, she sent some new girl up there who said she was a floater or new or was working at this store, and she said Gina had to ring her up. And I'm like, well, that's the policy. She never cared before, but sure, I'll call her. So I'm calling for the manager. She never comes, and I'm like, fine. Gina Kirkland, can you please come up here to ring this lady up? So finally she comes up there, and I move out of the way so she can ring this girl up, and she says, we'll ring her up. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I ring the girl up after she said it was Gina's policy, and I said, it's not Gina's policy, it's Goodwill policy, but she didn't care before, so why would she care now? Yeah, and then the whole Seabolt family shows up. Guitar shows up with his sister and this dude with a dog, and Allie is in and out, same different costume, like 3 and 4 times a day. I cannot freaking stand her. I cannot stand her. She comes through the line with this crap that she likes and says, isn't this cute? Isn't it cute? I'm like, well, it reminds me of someone I used to go to school with. I don't really like it. It's kind of her style. How so? It just looks like her. It's just stuff she likes. Or he, or it, or whatever you are. So I get mad about this scarf. They ask me to leave. I leave. Except I notice when I'm at the Kroger across the street, some Sure Abuse is gone. And I'm like, that's it. That's it. So I go back and I bang on the door to the office. And I say, you tell that Effer whore to give me the things she took from my backpack back now. They said, you're going to have to call the police. You're going to have to call the police. So they call the police, and that's when, Joe LeBlanc Jr. showed up when I was hoping for criminal trespass dude, but I get, J.A. rapist MFer instead. So he tells me to sit in the wet bench. I'm not sitting on the wet bench. I sit on the floor of the concrete. The black male, female police officers there. This white dude's over there. He promises me I'll get a police report for the stolen property, which I don't. He promises I'll get a police report for my stolen car, which I don't. So that was Goodwill. They didn't give me my paycheck. They claimed I didn't get vacation, but someone got vacation on my paycheck because it's on the paycheck stub that I got. They said I was supposed to work Thanksgiving Day. I showed up Thanksgiving Day. No one's there. No one ever showed up. So then after Goodwill, they say they're going to let someone look at my dislocated shoulder. I say, fine. They take me to the hospital. I guess it's a fake x-ray. I don't know what it was. I don't know why you need an x-ray for a torn muscle. It's obviously, it's not fully dislocated anyway. I don't know. They give me this muscle relaxer and institutionalize me again for 6 days. 6 day again, required psych eval, January 2023, this year. The whole time, Allie's there raping me. This teenage black dude's following me around, trying to hit my hurt arm. I keep telling him not to follow me around, telling him to leave me alone. Finally, the girl says, all right, we're going to let you out, but we're going to put you in Gainesville. I'm like, I don't know anyone in Gainesville. There's nothing to do in Gainesville. I don't think I can find a job in Gainesville. Why can't I go back to Alpharetta? That's where my kids knew I was last. Where else do you want to go? Why not Alpharetta? So I say, fine. What about Athens? I was trying to go back to school. Maybe they have a school that's not UGA. I don't think I can get in UGA. That I can't go to Athens Tech. I already have a technical degree. I don't need another technical degree. So anyway, first job in Athens is HireQuest. I worked as a server for Classic Center, where Sharon, whatever her name is, harassed the crud out of me. We had to wear these neckties. I tie the necktie. She say, take it off, give it to this guy. I tie the next necktie. Like, they can't tie their own neckties? Do you not know how to tie a necktie, Sharon? I had a wrinkly shirt. I couldn't find the iron in the stupid Salvation Army shelter. I tried the dryer. It didn't work. On my way to the Classic Center, I bought an iron. So I get there and I start to set up the iron, but then I couldn't find Shannon, whatever her name is. So I found the Classic Center guy, and I tell him I've got wrinkly shirt problems. I need to iron my shirt. I'll be on in 10 minutes. Okay. He didn't say anything. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. He didn't say whatever. I figured, well, if he's got a problem with it, he'll say something. So then Sharon, whatever her name is, you're not getting paid for that? You're not getting paid for that. I said I didn't ask to get paid for that. So she tries to steal my iron. I'm telling you, if that little girl came anywhere near to me in my iron, I would have bashed her face in with it. I wrote my name on it in Sharpie because I knew someone would try and steal it. Do they think that they can just take the money they pay me and just take it back? What's wrong with them? So the last day I was there, I was down setting up the brunch plates. So these dudes have obviously never waited tables. They stack the plates like blah, blah high, and I'm going, well, that doesn't look really safe to me. You may want to lower it a little bit. And he's telling me I'm telling him what to do. And I'm like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you it looks unsafe, and I would lower it if I were you, but leave it there. I don't care. Whatever. I'm going, dude is hypersensitive. I don't know what's wrong. He's got like freaking power struggle issues. Anyway, Shannon, blah, 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 comes and says, you can't tell him what to do. I'm not telling him what to do. I'm not telling him what to do. Makes a scene in front of guests that are getting there. And I just leave, and I start to take off my tie because I forgot it was on. And she turns to face me, and I'm taking my tie off. And it's almost off my head. She's, you give me that tie. What the hell do you think I'm doing? And I threw it at her face, and I walked out. So I had to scratch my name off the day, whatever. So then the next job I get is at Randstad. They put me in Silgan closures, which is like a plastic lid factory for like Gatorade bottles, water bottles, whatever. So I was fine for the first day or 2 or 3 or whatever until this guy named Paul shows up that looks suspiciously like Monty William Thrash, my first ex-husband. So twice. I think it's latex in the air. I get super disoriented. I can't find anything. I'm looking for a manager or something, telling him something's wrong. I thought I was overheated the first day, and so apparently did some other guy that came out. I was sitting down, drinking some water in the break room, and I'm still feeling really like disoriented. And he told me to go outside and drink water. So I went outside and drank some water, and I was smoking cigarettes, and I felt fine. So I didn't even remember having an allergic reaction to latex. But they didn't tell anyone there was latex in those lids, and I don't know why it would have been in the air when Monty was there when it wasn't in the air any other day. So I was out there for an hour. Monty comes out bitching and complaining. Is it take you an hour to get yourself together? I says, I have no idea. I have no idea how long I've been out here. So I go in and I'm like, well, I guess it does take me an hour. The next day I tell her, I said, I don't know, I was having an allergic reaction. I guess there was latex in the air or something. And I sat outside and smoked cigarettes, and I was fine after that. But you should have told me if there was latex here. Next night I worked, same thing. Except Allie's there with guitar in the restroom. Looking like some black whore. Teresa, she said her name was. So the second night I had an allergic reaction. I decided, well, I guess I can't work there. Sorry, I can't work there. I don't know what's in the air. Monty's here. I guess my ex-husband's here. I guess it was Charles sitting at the table looking at the plans. I showed him my name tag, or it was written on my swabby thingy. I said I don't work here anymore. He was not Monty. Monty was right there. I don't work anymore. I clocked out already. So I left. I called the police. They didn't do anything, obviously, because he's still running around here. Okay, so then I get a job at Subway, where Stephen Metz is the regional manager. Same thing. Harass, stalk, super control freak, micromanager, complaining. They show me the right way to cut green onions, and then he says, I do it this way. He cuts it, in the little circle, and then he slices them all. And I'm like, well, then you have to make sure they're all together and organized Why don't you just do it the way you're supposed to? Well, because, what did he say? They don't become the same thickness that way. I'm like, you really are retarded, aren't you? You are really retarded. It has nothing to do with the thickness of the vegetable when you slice it like that. I don't know what to do. So he tells me to go back and do the dishes. So I'm back doing the dishes, and he says, Tara, why don't you come help me with the customers? I said, fine, I'll come with the customers. I stop what I'm doing and go up front, and there's no one out there. There's one lady sitting down. I'm going, is there something wrong with you? Empty restaurant. Yelling at me to go help the customers. And I'm going, there are no customers out here, Stephen. So steal my tips, sexually harass me, attempted rape, attempted murder, stuff in the food, stuff in the everything. But I get arrested for, I don't know, assault or battery or something. And I don't even think that was the same man. I think it was his kid. Well, I don't know. It looked just like him. He answered to Stephen, and he knew my name, Tara. So I don't know who the hell it was, but he had some goopy stuff on his arm, or I don't know if that was real arm or prosthetic arm, or what. Anyway. So he asked me to leave after I'm wondering why the heck he called me up to the front to help the people that weren't there. Maybe he's on drugs or something. Withheld my paycheck for almost 2 weeks. And, had me arrested for assault or battery, and I didn't even do anything to him. So then I worked at IHOP, which was fine at first. Except there's another Tara, or Tara Lee, or Tara Leah, or some little black woman that looks like Ali Alvira, whatever, who is the biggest bully. The last day I worked, we were busy, and there was some guy running around, a new guy, a younger-ish guy, whose table asked for the check and a box. Well, I can't print his check out for the first of all. Second of all, I had my own little 2 tables I had to get drinks for. And third of all, why would I just bring him a box if they had to wait for their check anyway? He's got to go to the table anyway. So I'm trying to find this guy, trying to make my drinks, and the little troll is running around me, blah, 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 blah. So I say, excuse me, could you go find the young guy? His table needs a check and they need a box. Well, that's not team playing. That's not how we work here, Tara. You spent all this time looking for whatever, and you could have been just getting the box. I said, I wasn't doing that. I was making drinks for my table. I can't print his check out anyway. They need a check. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, I will break you, girl. Whatever that means. I say, good luck, girl. Good luck with that. So apparently she's a pimp, or he's a pimp. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So I have a small cup in the back. We're allowed to keep cups in this little, like, shelvy area. I was drinking half Coke, half Sprite. Half Coca-Cola, half Sprite. Well, it looked right. It looked the same, except I took a big swig. There's some nasty stuff like grain alcohol or some disgusting stuff. I spit as much out as I could, and I told the manager I wasn't going back. I said, sorry, someone put something in my drink. I'm not coming back here. I'm calling the police. So I called the police on my way. I had to go to Walmart to get something anyway. Meanwhile, my face feels flushed. And, anyway. Whatever. So I guess, the troll lady put that stuff in my drink when she couldn't get me fired for, not being a team player, not helping the guy out. Anyway, so then I got hired at Jimmy John's on Baxter. Sean Austin, Abdu, whatever his name is. Same thing. Harass, stalk, sexually harass, steal my tips, put that dehydration crap in my food, RU46, and whatever, some abortifacient. The last day there, I guess, was Saturday, the 15th of July. he said, I took the menu test twice. I would have passed you the first time if I was the manager. He can't believe I didn't know the menu after 3 months being there when I've only been on the line like twice. Someone keeps stealing the menu, except I don't even really care. They freaking drug me at night anyway, so it's not like I would have been able to study. He doesn't even know the menu. He doesn't even know the menu. He rang things up 2 or 3 times wrong. And he threw away someone ran a sandwich through half or easy capicola, whatever that stuff is. So it's 3 slices of capicola. I just took one off and put it to the side. I gave him 2 slices. That's easy. I asked what easy capicola is. Am I supposed to cut it in half? Give him exactly half capicola? I don't know. No one knows. So I'm like, fine. I just give him 2 pieces instead of 3. Well, Sean, he didn't even open the sandwich up. He didn't. The people didn't open the sandwich up. It was through the drive-thru, and he's going, "This is an easy capicola. I need an easy cap." I'm like, "It was easy capicola," and he threw it. It's like it would have been easier just to take the extra piece off. Why did you throw the whole thing away? Less expensive. He threw the whole sandwich away. So anyway, Megan follows me around, tries to open the door to the restroom every time I go to the restroom. I have a laptop in my backpack, and we have these little hooky things we put our stuff on, except one's right by the kitchen dishwashing sink. And I know if I put my laptop there, they'd spray it down. So I move, I don't even know whose stuff it is. I just move it over so I can put my stuff away from the sink. Well, I don't like people touching my stuff. Don't touch my things. And I'm going, you fucking rapist, sexual harassing, weirdo, freak, stalking freak. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't know who they were. I just needed a place to put my things. I have a laptop in here. I don't want it to get splashed by the water. On and on. Plus, there's my chapstick, identical to the stuff that I bought a while back in her little shit. It was a C3 plastic backpacky looking thingy. I wonder if that's my chapstick there, Megan. I didn't know whose it was. So she calls me a bitch. You don't have to act like a bitch, Sarah. I'm like, I'm not acting like a bitch, Megan. She's supposed to be a manager. A manager. He. Maybe it's a he, maybe she's gay, maybe I don't even fucking care. That was the woman that was like, okay, you can wrap it, Tara. No thanks, Meg. I'm good. Who told this police officer, who I didn't know if it was a police officer, who's standing there going, I can read, dude. I can read. This is a turkey tom. It needs turkey, and that's the turkey right there. I'm going, did you really just say that out loud? Did they tell you I was retarded or something? So every time he opened the door to the little oven and didn't say a thing, I said, that door's hot. Watch that hot door. I think he got turned and left. Except I saw him through the drive-thru in a police car, and he says, thank you. Like I did him a fucking favor or something. No, thanks. So he asked me to leave because one, I am disrespectful. What did he say? Let's see this right here. I made him write this down. I'm sorry to say that. Disrespectful to management. How? I don't know. Poor attitude with coworkers. How? No clue. Did not learn the menu after 3 months of employment. He doesn't even know the menu, and he's supposedly the manager. He said he's going to take the little pictures down. Good luck with that, because I don't think they know the menu either. So, no, I signed it, but he didn't write me up ever. Not one time did he write me up. I put no documented proof, signature, no write-ups, date. He put the wrong address, 313 Baxter Street. It's like 6-something Baxter Street. We're next to 700 Baxter Street. I'm pretty sure I took a picture of the back of this, or a video of it, but it's gone now. So this is the first menu test. That's the front. There's the back. There's the second menu test. There's the front. There's the back. Whatever. It's all on YouTube. Sean, Megan. So when I left, it was, let's see, Danny, Phil, last initial D, new guy, and Annie Toole. She said her name was. And then there was Sean, Austin, like Sean Austin, one person, and then Megan Haywood. What'd she say earlier? Haywood. Let's see. Haywood. This says he spells it Aastin, and his last name is Thom. Whatever. So, yeah, unemployed again. Unlawfully terminated. Asked to leave every single job, or I just leave because I can't take the harassment anymore. I report him to the harassment board. I don't do that anymore. Laura with the whatever harassment board, who I spoke with in the federal building in Atlanta, sent me this thing about what's it called? Unions. Unionization. I'm going, what does unionization have to do with harassment? I'm not in a union. Are they in a union? I don't know. I'm not paying their fee. I don't want to be in a union. No thanks. No thanks. So those are the CRA PPY jobs I've had since September of 2021. David Fox divorced to Tara Fox. Let's see if I can get this off. Oh, sorry. Take a minute. There we go.